TikTok and its parent company ByteDance took the world by storm within the last 5 years and seriously threatened American dominance in the social media landscape. China, still thought of as a closed-off society behind a great firewall, now had created a foothold that still the American government has not been able to get rid of. But when the world saw the growth of TikTok, more focus was put on its sister app, Douyin. Douyin soon became the hot app to talk about, whether it be about Chinese government officials censoring certain phrases, paying for propaganda to be made, or forcing youth to watch uplifting educational content while propagating dangerous challenges and antisocial behavior on its Western counterpart. But Douyin is not the only short video streaming app in China. It is a relatively smaller but growing rival, KuaiShou, which has not caught much Western attention yet. So, how much potential does KuaiShou have, and will it ever grow enough to be a powerful competitor to ByteDance? That is the question I have, and at the risk of my potential phone security, why I downloaded the KuaiShou app to find out. To start with size, ByteDance is much larger, with estimates ranging from 750,000 to over 1 billion monthly active users according to various sources in 2023. KuaiShou has a much smaller fraction of that, at between 350 and 480 million active users, putting it somewhere at 1/3 to 1/2 of Douyin's size, according to this metric. KuaiShou, which means quick hand in Chinese, was started in 2011 by a former Google and Baidu engineer, KuaiShou, who was interested in implementing new cutting-edge technologies, like artificial reality, into a social media app. The app evolved from just micro-short videos similar to early TikTok and even Vine, to a GIF app at one point, to the app that it is today, very similar to the touch and feel of Douyin. KuaiShou did, however, focus on something that Douyin had left behind: better performance on the worst phones. The company is heavily focused on research and development, with research labs from Ningbo to Seattle, and has collaborated with Western tech giants on its most exciting projects. This focus on performance has made it much more popular outside of China's Tier 1 cities, especially in rural areas and less cosmopolitan cities, as their users cannot afford expensive phones. While Douyin, of course, has rural users, its capture of the Chinese countryside trends towards the idyllic and peaceful. On KuaiShou, rural China is captured much more realistically in general. KuaiShou is considered to be one of China's unicorn startups and raised $5.32 billion in funding during its IPO in 2021. It's also not an independent company, with both Tencent and the Chinese state-backed China Internet Investment Fund owning parts of the company. Even though KuaiShou has state backing, it doesn't mean it's immune from regulatory threats and changes. In 2018, the app was briefly banned for the glorification of teenage pregnancy. New laws restrict online gift purchases to only those over 18. There's a possibility that all online gift purchasing will be limited in the future. KuaiShou has also recently announced a policy of document and identity verification, making it harder to stay anonymous. So, when you go to KuaiShou, what do you see? Well, 9 times out of 10, you'll see relatively normal videos to someone watching TikTok in the West. Groups dancing to popular sounds, product reviews, interviews on the street, and cooking videos. While there is an option for a more educational-based algorithm for those under 18, primarily the app seeks to cater regular social media entertainment. But that doesn't mean there isn't propaganda on the app, or that you'll have to look hard to find it. There are, of course, the expected videos of a stately Xi Jinping with the comments turned off or limited to only a select few with positive things to say. Then there are the more interesting and perhaps bizarre ones. The most prevalent type of propaganda video uses what is often referred to as a white monkey avatar or person. In China, a white monkey is simply a white person that is only used to show prestige or place importance on something. One of the most common examples I encountered during my time on KuaiShou seems to be a man named Steven, or sometimes David. The man is obviously not real, but has an ever-changing backstory based on the video he is in. Sometimes he is Belarusian, sometimes British, sometimes he speaks fluent Chinese, and other times English.
Chinese people eat junk after eating lard for thousands of year 5. Experts say it is high in cholesterol and is not recommended. However, they tout the chemical import and export process.
It's quite interesting how often he is used to comment on Chinese culture and ideas of both Chinese cultural supremacy and/or decline, and that the average Chinese person values the opinion of this Western facade, more than someone from their own country. Moving on, should we expect to see more of us using KuaiShou in the future and subject ourselves to the same levels of propaganda? Well, likely not in its Chinese form, but KuaiShou does have other versions of its app similar to Dalian's TikTok. In most of the world that it operates, including Russia, Brazil, and South Korea, it is referred to as Kuai. Although in Pakistan the app is called Snack Time. The app is quite popular in many developing countries, which makes sense as it is optimized to work on lower-end smartphones. So will it make it big in the US and Europe? This seems much harder. There's already much opposition to China's ownership of TikTok, and American competition has stepped up with the popularity of alternatives like Instagram Reels. Most of the developed world have ever more powerful smartphones that don't necessarily need the performance upgrade Kuai can provide. Still, it's not impossible, especially as TikTok has already broken into the great American social media conglomerate club, and as Kuai continues to focus on research and development. So, the question now turns to you. Do you think KuaiShou will become a true rival to ByteDance? Let me know down in the comments.